Hello, and welcome to ThyssenKrupp's LinkedIn Basic Training. It's great to have you here. Today, you will receive insights into what LinkedIn actually is, why you should use LinkedIn, and how it works in detail. We will also show you some examples of employees who are already active on LinkedIn and are doing it well. We explain what you should consider and answer questions you may still have at the end. First, let's clarify what LinkedIn actually is. You're probably wondering why yet another social media platform. In the social network family, LinkedIn is something like the serious brother of Facebook and Instagram. In a nutshell, it's about networking and sharing content with professional contacts. While Facebook is used to keep up with news from friends, family, or company websites, and Instagram is used to share vacation photos from the beach or friends' weddings, LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to position yourself in a professional context. Here are a few facts about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the world's largest social network that focuses on business. Over 830 million people are registered on LinkedIn worldwide. Of these, over 21,000 are ThyssenKrupp colleagues. LinkedIn is used all over the world. The social network focuses on professional exchange related to people's work. In other words, you can easily stay in touch with international colleagues as well as business partners and make new contacts. And this is what LinkedIn looks like. Here we are on the home page, where you can see all the posts from the companies or people you follow. You can open LinkedIn on your computer via your browser like this, or you can download the app onto your smartphone. Among many other companies, ThyssenKrupp is also active on LinkedIn. You can recognize our company pages by the ThyssenKrupp logo used as the profile photo. Whenever this logo is used, it is important to check the correct usage in the brand factory beforehand. On our parent company page, the group bundles content from all segments. A few segments are also represented with their own company profiles on LinkedIn. For example, ThyssenKrupp Automotive Technology has its own company page. But also companies like ThyssenKrupp Rote Erde. Many employees follow these company pages. This keeps them up to date on news from the individual segments and business units. But something is still missing on LinkedIn. Exactly. You. We'll show you how to take your first steps on LinkedIn. But first, let's clarify the question of what you get out of using LinkedIn at all. Quite simply, LinkedIn has replaced what business cards were once used for. Your LinkedIn profile includes your name, position, employer, and resume. It helps you network and stay in touch with business partners, customers, and service providers. That way, you don't just get news from your business contacts once a year at a trade fair, but almost in real time. You can read, like, or comment on posts from others. If you enjoy doing so, you can also post something yourself. In turn, other people will see this, become aware of you, and react to your post. That's how you can quickly become part of the network. Now, if you're thinking that this is related to the stressful lifestyle of an influencer or content creator, with time-consuming photo and video shoots, daily postings, and so on, we can reassure you that's not what matters here. We also want to dispel any prejudice right at the start that LinkedIn is only something for CEOs. The platform can be beneficial for every employee. It doesn't matter if you're a manager, work in an office, or in production. LinkedIn offers exciting opportunities to all of us. You can easily build up a great network for your professional life. The chance to meet someone who knows someone who can be useful to you? No problem on LinkedIn, because here you can network with business contacts you already know. Or you can meet new contacts. One thing is certain, a good network has never hurt anyone. With these contacts and the company pages you follow, you'll never miss out on anything. One of your contacts has changed jobs, a competing company has announced a new strategy. From personal updates to company news or trends, you'll find out everything about the latest news first off on LinkedIn. These updates offer one thing above all: conversational topics. Whether via the message chat, the comment function, or a LinkedIn post or in a group, you can exchange professional updates with your contacts. This is how you maintain your relationships while simultaneously learning new things. In an international group of companies, it's not easy to keep track of what colleagues are working on. And that's too bad. After all, it could be that someone is working on a similar task just like you, a situation that creates synergy effects. You can find out about these activities on LinkedIn. Many colleagues share their projects or professional successes with their contacts here. But you can not only consume content from others, you can also share it by yourself. Because of your position at ThyssenKrupp, you have at least one topic area in which you are well versed, no matter how small your niche may seem to you. With over 830 million users, there are bound to be people working on something similar to you. By engaging in professional discussions or posting content from your daily work, you can position yourself as an expert on your personal topic. In this way, at some point, everyone in your industry will know that you are a good contact to talk to about your particular topic. But even as an expert, you never really stop learning. Fortunately, LinkedIn Learning offers numerous opportunities for further education. Just select a training you're interested in, and off you go. As a company, it's also beneficial for us if you're active on LinkedIn. Here are two examples. With your posts, you help us get our communicative messages out there. This increases our reach and strengthens our credibility. If you present ThyssenKrupp as an attractive employer in a post, this can have a positive impact on our reputation. If many people in your network become aware of your post, this increases the chance that someone will apply for one of our job vacancies. This is how we attract top talent. Now you have learned what LinkedIn is and what advantages the social network offers. In the next step, we'll show you how to create a profile. To register on LinkedIn, first go to www.linkedin.com. Then click on the Join Now button at the top right. There you enter your email address and choose a password. It's best to use your private email address because you have access to it even after work and on weekends. Next, enter your first name and last name. LinkedIn is a network where you register with your real name. It is possible that a security check will pop up. Follow the instructions. In the next step, enter your country or region and your city or district. This can be your place of work or your place of residence, depending on what you prefer to reveal about yourself. Now, enter your most recent job title. Your employment type, and your most recent company. You will then receive a code from LinkedIn via email. Paste it here in order to show that the email address you provided is actually yours. If you like, you can link LinkedIn to your email contacts. That way you can find out which of your contacts are already registered on LinkedIn so that you can network with them. However, we have skipped this step in this training. The next step also gives you the opportunity to network with initial contacts. These can be colleagues, business partners, or service providers, for example. To do this, simply enter the name of the person and, if applicable, the respective employer, and click on Connect. This person will then receive a standardized contact request from you. They can either confirm or reject this request. If you have added enough contacts for now, click on Done and Skip. After that, you can add a photo of yourself. We have a few tips for you when choosing your profile photo. Basically, your photo should look serious and be of high quality. A good resolution is an advantage. The format does not matter. The photo is automatically cropped by LinkedIn. A bright background provides a positive atmosphere and usually offers good contrast. That way, you are easily recognizable and stand out from the background. Of course, your outfit is also important. It's best to wear something chic that's suitable for everyday work. But don't dress up in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. Your outfit should suit you. These two have done everything right. By the way, you don't need to go through an expensive professional photo shoot to get a good profile photo. If you follow our tips, a colleague can help you come up with the perfect photo. After all, smartphones take good photos too. Our fictional person has chosen the following photo and zoomed in a bit so that he can be seen better. To spice up the profile, you can upload a profile background in addition to the profile photo. You can find templates for this in the Brand Factory under Design Specifications and Employer Branding. To complete your profile, add information about your education. First, enter the name of your school. Next, enter your degree. In addition, enter your field of study and when you started and stopped studying. When you click on Save, your educational background will be added to your profile. Afterwards, you have the possibility to click on Add a Skill. Here you can list the skills you have and use in your daily work. When you've typed in a skill, click on where you put this skill to use. This way, you can add more skills or choose from the suggested options. Finish your selection of skills by clicking on No Thanks. This already looks pretty good. You have filled your profile with the most important information. Under Add Profile section, you can enter further information about yourself. For example, you can add further stages of your education or positions. You also have the option of writing a little introduction about yourself, uploading licenses and certifications, or adding a volunteer experience. It's best if you click through these points yourself. But what happens to all the data you enter on LinkedIn, and who can see it? You can find out about this here at the top right under Me, Settings and Privacy, and Data Privacy. Your visibility is in your own hands. Here you choose who can see your profile, your connections, and your activities. Do you want to allow all your LinkedIn contacts to see your content, or even strangers? Decide that for yourself. This is where you'll usually see your news feed. If you follow companies and people or add contacts, you'll see all their posts and activities here. You can find companies and people by using the search function right next to the LinkedIn logo. For example, you can follow the company accounts of ThyssenKrupp. You can also follow people. This is useful if you don't know them personally, but still want to be informed about them. Now, the newsfeed already looks much better. Next to the icon on the home page, you can access your network. Here you can see, for example, if someone has sent you a contact request. Under Jobs, people who are looking for a job can find job advertisements. But keep in mind that we also have our own internal job board at ThyssenKrupp called the Job Compass. You can have private conversations with your contacts under Messaging. By clicking on the Notifications button, you can access the updates that concern you. Did someone mention you in a comment or a post? Then you will be able to see it here. you can always return to your newsfeed via the Home button. Here you can interact with posts from other companies or people. You can either click like, add a comment, share the post with your network, or send it to a single contact in a private chat. You can create your own LinkedIn post at the very beginning of your newsfeed. Here, you can choose who will be able to see your post. You can write the text and add, for example, a photo, video, or document. If everything looks good to you, click Post to publish. Then your post will appear in your contacts newsfeed, meaning that they can interact with your post. Did this tutorial go too fast for you? Then you can also find each step explained in the training handout. Let's move on to the next chapter. Especially at the beginning, it helps to look at what other contacts are posting on LinkedIn for orientation. So we will now take a look at colleagues who already have a lot of practice. Based on their published posts, we will also explain the different types of posts. The classic LinkedIn post is a photo post. In the post text, write down in a few words what you want to draw attention to. In addition, add a meaningful photo. This generates awareness and ensures that your contacts linger on your post. But you might not always have a suitable picture at hand. Of course, you can also publish your post text without a photo, especially if you want to post quickly. If you have a video, you can add that to your post as well. Frequently, this doesn't require that much text in the post itself, as a video tends to be self-explanatory. Perhaps while scrolling through your newsfeed, you've noticed posts from others that may also be of interest to your network. In that case, you can share the post from a colleague. In addition to posts from other contacts, sharing posts from a company account is also a good idea. A small intro to the shared post from you is always advisable. This gives your network an idea of what you want to say with this shared post. But not only posts from LinkedIn can be shared. You can also post a link to an external website. If there is an image on the linked page, LinkedIn will automatically generate a thumbnail with a caption. This means you don't have to upload your own photo. If you have more you'd like to say, you can write it all down in an article on LinkedIn. There is a lot of space, ensuring that you can always make your point. As you can see, there are quite a few ways to publish a post on LinkedIn. Format is one thing, content is another. You may be asking yourself, what do I have to write about? But that's the beauty of LinkedIn. You are the focus. Write about what drives you when you're doing your job. For instance, you can provide insights into your everyday professional life. It may be everyday life for you, but for many people it is an exciting glimpse into a world they don't know much about. Or they may be familiar with it, have the same job as you, and are interested in your content out of a sense of community. That always works, regardless of the field you work in or your position. Whether you're an entry-level employee or someone with a good deal of experience, there's always something exciting to talk about. Here's a simple example. You can write a LinkedIn post about a problem you encountered on the job and how you solved it. People in a similar position to you will most likely face similar problems, and be grateful for these tips. The first step to positioning yourself as an expert is already done. Imagine the following situation. You are at a trade fair representing ThyssenKrupp. You're taking a short break with a colleague when someone approaches you, greets you, and introduces him or herself. Your colleague follows with an introduction. Then it's your turn. In a situation like this, you talk casually and confidently about what you do for a living, why you're at the trade fair today, and how the day has gone so far. This is exactly how you can come across on LinkedIn as well. Here are a few tips. It's all about you. Don't be afraid to authentically show your personality in your posts, because people always feel connected to other people. For example, write from a first-person perspective. Make sure you add value with your LinkedIn posts. Always ask yourself the question, why would other people be interested in this post? Sharing experiential knowledge or tips always goes over better than making it seem like you're trying to sell something. Surprise your contacts with some variety in your posts, both through content and format. Use a photo post sometimes, a shared post sometimes, and other times an article. We've already shown you some examples in this training. Why not give it a try? When you include open-ended questions in your post, you encourage your contacts to engage with you in the comment section. This will not only give you new approaches, but your post will also be shown to more people in their newsfeed. In other words, if someone speaks up in the comments under your post, try to reply to them. To increase the readability of your post, paragraphs are a good idea. This gives your text structure. Tagging people and using hashtags both increase the reach of your posts. This also helps structure your text. So feel free to tag people and use hashtags that match your content. If you're writing about your team, for example, you could use the hashtag GenerationTK and tag colleagues as well as the ThyssenKrupp company page. But for now, get familiar with LinkedIn. Log in, network with others, consume content, and react to the content you like. Enjoy! With that, your first step has already been taken. You'll quickly notice that, as in any social environment, there are some habits on LinkedIn that should be considered. We've summarized them for you. The following things are allowed and even desired. For the most part, you probably won't be active on LinkedIn, but rather passive. You're consuming the content of others, and that's perfectly fine. Depending on the people and content you are interested in, you can build a network on LinkedIn. Within this network, you can easily interact. Keep in mind that LinkedIn is a professional network. It is therefore advisable to always keep dialogue on a professional level. To not only respond to others' posts, but to actively contribute yourself, it's a good idea to create your own LinkedIn posts. In these, you can comment on a topic that you are well versed in and share your professional expertise. The basic principle underlying all of this, as everywhere, is to treat others with respect. LinkedIn is not an anonymous platform. You are registered there under your real name. So think carefully about what you say when you are using your name and whether you would also say it in real life. As in real life, there are a few things you should keep in mind when socializing on LinkedIn. Be careful not to lie, disparage, or insult people. Confidential information has no place on LinkedIn. This includes trade secrets, our business strategy, financial figures, investment plans, or personal information. Competitive information is also not for the public. This includes, for example, information about prices, production costs, and customer data. If you're unsure what's considered confidential and what's not, it's best to ask your supervisor for advice. Also, private content, such as pictures of your pets or photos from your vacation, tend to be out of place on LinkedIn. You'd like to quote a person or share content that is not yours? Then always do so with a reference to the person or by naming the source. If you're referring to an article, you can also link directly to it. Here's something that has happened to all of us at one time or another. Someone in your circle of friends has published a photo of you on social media without asking for your consent first. This is not a good feeling, and you shouldn't do that on LinkedIn without consent either. It's best to first obtain consent from every person in the photo, not just verbally, but in writing. If you are unsure about this, you can obtain further information at compliance.thyssenkrupp.com/en. And of course, prohibitions on photos of other people's property or inside ThyssenKrupp plants should always be observed. Last but not least, here are some answers to questions you may have asked yourself during this training. Is it necessary that I publish posts every day? No. How often you publish posts is entirely up to you. But you can also become part of conversations in other ways. For example, by responding to others' posts in comments. Or you can start a conversation with someone by using the chat function. Can I post about my employer without a supervisor's approval? Basically, yes, but you should always be transparent that these are your personal opinions, not those of ThyssenKrupp. It is also important to follow the instructions of do's and don'ts from this training. These include, among other things, not publishing confidential information. If you are ever unsure about what you are allowed to communicate and what not, you can approach your manager on a voluntary basis. In which language should I communicate? Since ThyssenKrupp is an international group of companies, we recommend to communicate depending on the topic. If you share content that only affects your regional contexts, formulate your post in your local language. However, if it is content that may also be of interest to your international colleagues, feel free to post in English. It's all in the mix. In the end, you should do what you feel most comfortable and confident with. I have inhibitions about publishing my own posts on LinkedIn. How do I overcome this barrier? That is completely normal. Consume content first. Pay attention to what your contacts are posting. Maybe you can take a cue from them. In the next step, you can try to write a few comments under others' posts. When you feel confident enough, it's time to try it out yourself. You can also edit your posts afterwards and delete them at any time. So, what are you waiting for? Register on LinkedIn now and get started. With just a little routine, you'll soon be a pro. If you have any further questions, you can always contact Stefan Hai, Julia Weil, Lena Behling, or Michelle Schröder. You are also welcome to take a look at the training handout. It contains a summary of the most important tips and contents, step instructions on how to register and create a profile on LinkedIn. Even more information can be found in the Brand Factory under Design Specifications, Online Templates, and Social Media. There we have placed our social media guide. Thank you very much for your attention. Have fun on LinkedIn.